Okay, thanks so much, Jess.
Thanks, Lori. Hi, everyone. Jess Spencer, and thank you for your patience. Today, we're going to go over how to set up your legal organization within the CTrack e-filing portal that will be going live the end of this month. And so I'm just going to jump right into it. I want to give you a couple of definitions for roles before we get started. So within the e-filing portal, the roles are support staff, attorney, legal organization admin, and non-filing legal organization admin. Just walk through what that means. Support staff is exactly what it sounds like. These will be support staff, secretaries, paralegals that will be filing documents to cases on behalf of an attorney. They will always, in order to be able to e-file, they'll always need to be connected with an attorney on the e-filing portal, and that's what we're going to go through today. They can be connected to multiple attorneys, and so they can be filing on behalf of as many attorneys as they need to. On the flip side of that, you can have more than one support staff filing on behalf of any given attorney as well. So that's the support staff role. Attorney, also exactly what it sounds like. All of the attorneys in your law will be registered as attorneys. That will be their role within CTrack. And again, if you remember our initial training, they'll have to have their bar number in when they register, so that the system will recognize them as an attorney. The other two roles, the legal organization admin roles. The non-filing is the easiest to start with. This would be a person who is not an attorney, so they're not going to be filing anything on themselves, essentially. They're not going to be filing anything on behalf of a client. So a non-filing legal organization admin would be maybe an office manager or something like that. The role of legal organization admin is someone, it would be an attorney within the law firm, but they're the ones that are organizing the law firm and the support staff for the different attorneys. So as we were going through the trainings and the testing of our environments, Thomson Reuters did discover a bug, which is normal in processes like this. This is the first one that we've discovered on the e-filing, but I do want to let you know it exists and that it will be addressed and fixed, but not at the initial go live. The only thing that it affects is if you use the role of legal organization admin. So if you've got an attorney who's organizing the law firm, and then you assign support staff to file on behalf of that attorney, that support staff then has all of the admin permissions that the attorney has. And that shouldn't happen. They should just be able to file on behalf of the attorney and not be able to reorganize the law firm in any way or support staff or anything like that. So it's a known bug. The workaround and what I would suggest is that the person who will have, that will be in charge of organizing the law firm and assigning support staff should be a non-attorney within the office. That way you don't have to worry about assigning that person support staff and then the support staff having all of the legal organization permissions. And I know that this is probably sounding confusing at this point, but by the end of the training, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I just kind of wanted to bring that up ahead of time. So as you're going through the training and trying to figure out who's going to be in which role, you can keep that in mind. So to sum that up, you should have a non-filing legal organization admin who is a non-attorney in your office who can be in charge of assigning support staff to the attorneys in your office, okay? So to answer the question that's come up in the chat, no, the non-filing legal organization admin does not have to be an attorney. The legal organization admin also does not have to be an attorney. It can be an office manager or something of the like. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go to the e-filing portal. I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between a couple of different profiles today so that you can see what each of these types of roles will see in CTrack. We're going to start with the legal organization admin profile, and you can differentiate that from up here. I've got LOA as my middle name, legal organization admin. When I go into the support staff, the name that'll pop up here will be Jessica support staff. And then I don't know if Todd Weitzman's on this call today, but he's my guinea pig attorney, and I've used his law firm. So that's the law firm that we're going to be working with, and Todd's going to be the attorney that we're assigning support staff to. Okay. So we'll start at the very beginning. E-filing goes live and everybody does their register as an e-file user, right? We went through that the last couple of trainings. You go through, put in all your information, you get your email to confirm your email, and then you can sign in. And when you sign in, whoops. When you sign in, you'll see your name up here, and there won't be any associations underneath it because you haven't associated yourself with the law firm yet. Before you get started assigning anybody to anything or linking them with your law firm, the first thing you're going to need to do is contact the Pathonetary's office. They need to know who your legal organization admin is, and you can have multiple if you want, but you need to identify at least one person who's going to be your LOA, and that's the short version that I'm going to use for this training. LOA, legal organization admin. Okay, so you need to contact the PROT and let them know who your LOA is, and make sure that your law firm is listed as a legal organization in our case management system. This will be a one-time thing. You won't have to do it again after you have this initial conversation with them, but they will work on their side within the case management system to make sure that that's all set up for you. Okay. Once you have your legal organization admin set up with the PROT, this is what they will see when they log in. They'll be able to come to this drop down here and click on switch association, and they'll switch their association from their personal account to the law firm that they're going to be organizing. There is an option to organize multiple law firms. I don't know that there's any law firm around here that would have need for that, but if you do, it's there. I'm not going to be training on organizing multiple law firms. We're just going to stick with one. So they'll come in here, and more than likely your LOA will have a personal account and then their law firm account. They're going to click on that law firm account and save. Now they are in e-filing as a member of this law firm. After your LOA is set up, they're going to need to have all your other staff and attorneys ask for permission to join the law firm, essentially, is what's happening. So this is where we're going to start switching between profiles. I'm going to have to log out of this, and we're going to log into the attorney profile. So this is my attorney, and it's just his name. And if I click on this drop down, you'll see he doesn't have the option to switch associations yet. That's because he's not associated with any law firm. In order to associate your profile with a law firm, you're going to click on My Account. And at the bottom here, there's the Associated Legal Organizations link. You're going to click on that. And you'll see here, there's nothing listed. That's because this attorney is not yet associated with the appropriate law firm. To do that, you click on this Add Legal Organization blue link here, and this box will pop up. You're going to need to search for the name of the firm. And you won't have to check this box because the setup that you did with your law firm, with the PROT and your legal organization admin, your firm should show up when you search for it here, and it should be active. The address should be correct here, and the name of the law firm. If you search and you don't see the law firm pop up here, and you know that that's what it's supposed to be, you've typed it incorrectly, everything like that, contact the PROT's office, because they're going to need to do something on their end to make sure that you have the ability to search for your law firm. So to add this legal organization association for Attorney Weitzman, you're going to click on the name, and then this box will pop up. You're going to make sure that the role is correct. It defaults to attorney just because it defaults to alphabetical order. And then you're going to have to type in a service email. And you'll click Save. Now you'll see here that he has a legal organization association of the law firm. And the status over here says pending approval. That's because your LOA needs to accept people as associated with your law firm. So, I mean, anybody can go in here and try to add an association to a law firm, but they're not going to gain that access, or they're not going to gain that association unless the LOA approves it. So we did that for the attorney. Sorry, questions popped up. For service email address, is it the attorney's email? Yeah, so it's whatever email you want eService to go to. eService will come to the attorney, and it'll come to the support staff that files on behalf of an attorney. And those can have their own email addresses. That has to do with subscriptions, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But for each individual profile, put in that person's address, their email address. Okay. So we've asked, the attorneys asked for association with the law firm. We're going to do the same for the support staff. So again, we'll come here. You see there's no firm name down here. So you have to go to My Account. This one, this is associated with a law firm already, but it's not the correct one. So that's why you see you can have multiple law firm associations. But the same thing, go to My Account, Associated Legal Organizations, add legal organization, search for your law firm, click. And now let's say this support staff, like I said, it defaults to attorney because it's in alphabetical order. Let's say this support staff completely misses that and they don't click this drop down and switch themselves to support staff. They leave it as attorney and they put in their email address and click save. That's okay, because again, you'll see over here, it's pending approval. It does say role attorney, but we know from the name up here, we're in the support staff profile. That's not correct. The legal organization admin has the ability to fix that. So this is not a huge issue at this point because they're still pending approval. And so I wanted to show you an example of a mistake so that you know how the LOA fixes that on their end. So now that we've had our attorney and support staff ask for permission to be a part of this law we're going to go back to our LOA's profile. Oops. And I'll show you how to accept people into the law firm. You'll go to this dropdown and click on My Organizations. You'll select the law firm that you want to organize. And now you'll see here that under legal organization pending associations, you've got both the attorney and the support staff. In order to accept these two as part of your law firm, you simply click the links, this link under status. It's important to make sure you know which one you're clicking next to. So this one, we're going to come all the way over and we're going to click the one for the attorney, because what pops up here doesn't tell you which one that you're in. So it's just something to keep an eye on. When this pop-up comes up, if the role and the email are correct, you're just going to check this active box and click Save. And now you'll see that Todd's name has disappeared from the pending association, and he's down here as an attorney with this service address, and his status is approved. So we're going to do the same thing for the support staff, but remember we have a mistake. You're going to click the link. Before you check your active box, just switch that role to support staff. Then you'll check your box and click Save. And now Jessica support staff has an approved status as support staff. If you need to make changes at any time, you can just click on that line. You can make them inactive, or you can change their role. So if support staff's promoted and they're now going to have the permissions to organize the law firm, you can change their role here. Or if someone leaves, you can click on their name and click remove. This confirm box will pop up and you can click OK. And then they will no longer have an e-filing association with your law firm. Oh, a little frozen. There we go. Okay, so are there any questions so far? You can either type them in the chat or you can unmute your ask. I'm not seeing any so far. Okay, so we've accepted all of our staff as part of the legal organization. If you have, a long list of staff here, staff and attorneys, you can come in here and see their names. So if we search for Todd, then his is the only one that'll pop up here. If you want to, it will default to your entire list here. In order to get back to that, all you have to do is clear all of the boxes in here and click search again. So now that we have all of our staff available, we're going to start assigning support staff to attorneys. You'll notice down here in this users box that next to support staff, all the way down here, there's no view or edit button. That's because you're not going to be assigning support staff to file on behalf of support staff, right? It's only on behalf of those users who can file as attorneys. That's why the legal organization admin up here has the ability to add support staff to their profile. But if we were to come in and change this to non-filing legal org admin, again, you can add support staff here, but they're not going to be able to file on behalf of, because this person here doesn't have permissions to file. So to assign support staff, you find your attorney, and come across to this view edit button. This is a little counterintuitive. So this first search box is searching all the support staff that is currently assigned to the attorney that you're working with. Okay, so we're working with Todd Weitzman. This box is going to search all his current support staff. So if we leave these blank and click search, you're not going to get any results. You have to add support staff to that attorney first. I wanted to show you that distinction because you need to click the search button in order to get to this add support staff link. So I'm going to do that again. You come into the attorney's view edit for support staff. This box pops up. Don't enter anything, just click search. You shouldn't have any records returned, but you will get this link for add support staff. When you click on that, you're going to get another pop-up. And now this pop-up is to search all of the available support staff at your firm. So if we have multiple support staff registered at the law firm, we could click search and all appear down here. Right now, we only have one, so you're only seeing the one support staff. But if we come back to this and clear it out, I know that I want to add Jessica support staff. I can search for her here and her name will pop up. But if you want to search all of your support staff, you can just leave all these blank and click search and all of your support staff will populate down here. In order to add this support staff member for the attorney that you're working with right now, which is again, the only attorney in our firm right now, you just simply click on this box and that's it. You just click on the name and then you can exit out. And now this support staff is assigned to this attorney. That's not going to show anything different in the attorney's e-filing profile, but it will for the support staff. So I'm going to show you what that looks like from the support staff's profile by logging out and logging into that one. So we're now in the support staff's profile. I'm going to come down here and switch association. And now you'll see, because this support staff was accepted as part of the Weitzman law firm, so she can select that. And you'll see that there's an authorizing user dropdown. If this support staff is assigned to multiple attorneys, she would select which one she's filing on behalf of from this dropdown. Right now, she's only got one, so it's just Todd. And she'll save that, and she can tell which attorney she's filing on behalf of up here. She can see the law firm and the attorney. So now she can come in and create a filing and work through that. And when she submits it, it will be filed on behalf of Attorney Weitzman. Are there any questions on that part of it? Okay. I'm gonna make sure I get all the information to you guys. So okay, that's it for how to organize. Assigning people out from there. I do want to show you that on the attorney's profile, they have their law firm up here. If they go to my organizations and click on the law firm, they don't have the same boxes down here, right? So that's because they don't have permissions to organize the law firm. That has to be with an LOA, either the non-filing or the filing kind. A question came in, can we start this process now or do we have to wait? Unfortunately, you have to wait. We have to wait for our environment to be released. Right now, what I'm working in is a test environment, and it's not connected with our case management system. It's connected with kind of a dummy system. So in our case management system right now, the PROT wouldn't have the ability to add LOAs or anything like that. Unfortunately, we do have to wait until the go live, which is at the end of this month. So you can anticipate probably a week to 2 week adjustment period for the e-filing, just to make sure that everything is working smoothly. And of course, it's not going to be mandatory, right out of the gate. So we do have time to kind of ease into this. And the PROT is preparing to have these requests coming in. So I would just ask for patience and understanding as we work through the e-filing process. And we want to make sure that you guys do get set up in the way that you need to be set up. And we'll be standing by to answer those questions as needed. As far as organizing, sorry, a couple more questions here. Let's see. Will you have a printed version of this meeting to show a step-by-step process? So this meeting is being recorded, so you can come back and watch this for how to go through it. Or we will have a printed user guide. So it'll have pictures of the different screens that you'll be seeing. But we haven't released that yet. That'll come out when it goes live. And then I have another question. Do we contact the PROT's office now or wait? Unfortunately, you do have to wait. They can't do what they need to do in the system until the e-filing environment is released, because there are different menu options once we release the e-filing, even in our case management side. So you will have to wait until the end of the month. Just a couple of other little things that came up in the last training that I wanted to make sure I touched on in this training that don't necessarily have to do with the organization of the law firm, but just generally how to navigate e-file. One of them was being able to access cases that you or your firm are representing a client on. You're actively attorney of record, and you need to see the docket. Okay, so when you e-file something, if you've got support staff e-filing on your behalf, whenever you e-file the first document on that case, you will the attorney is automatically added as what's called an e-file user. Being added as an e-file user to a case gives you full access to the whole docket, not just what you e-filed. Okay, so if a case was started with a complaint months ago and you file something next month on this case, once that gets processed through, you'll be able to see all the way back to the very first filing. And that's different from the public access in a couple of ways. First, this will be on cases that are not available on public access. So for people who practice custody, you will be able to have access to the docket. And it will give you access to the docket and the documents attached on the docket that are clean. There's no watermark saying copying prohibited. I can see some excited faces here. So let me be very clear though. Only the attorney will be added as an e-file user. Support staff will not automatically be added as an e-file user. So the attorney's profile has access, not support staff. You can ask for support staff to be added as an e-file user, but that is a separate request to the PROT. It's not automatic. Okay, so the attorneys can go back and look at the entire docket. They can make a request to the PROT to have support staff have that ability as well. There is a separate process called subscriptions. If you are subscribed to a case, which also happens automatically for the attorney and the support staff that files on their behalf, you will be able to view anything that you have electronically filed or has been electronically served to you. The difference here is that you won't be able to go back in time to anything that was paper filed in the past or paper filed and served conventionally to you. It's only e-file documents that you would have access to if you have a subscription. In order to access the entire docket, you need to be added as an e-file user. And that's something that only the PROT can do. And like I said, that is automatic for the attorney when an e-filing is accepted, but not for the support staff that files on their behalf. One other point of interest on that, if an attorney, if you've got cases, I know you all got open cases currently. And if you want to be able to go and view the docket and not have to go through the public access portal, you can send a list of case numbers to the PROT and say, please add me as an e-file user to these cases. And they can do that. They can't do it right now. They can do it after our go live date. Once e-filing is released to the public, you will be able to send a list of your open cases to the PROT and ask that you be added as an e-file user to those cases. Let me caution you. I am sure all of you have open cases and you probably have a ton of them. Keep in mind, the PROT will be getting these requests from attorneys across the county. And it does take time for them to go through and add individually, manually add everybody as an e-file user. So this is not going to be something that will happen overnight. You can make the request and it might take a week for them to get to it because they're going to have these requests pouring in, right? So it's just going to be a little bit more time that we'll have to kind of work with the status quo. If you need a copy of a document from the docket and you can't get it off of the public access portal, you can request it from the PROT. They can email it to you. But just to keep that in mind, you can make that request, but it'll probably take some time to process. And then moving forward, obviously, it's going to automatically happen on anything that you're actively e-filing on, as I said. I just want to show you what it looks like to be able to look up a case in e-file that you are an e-file user on. So you log into your profile, you make sure that you've got the law firm up here, and you come over to case search. You'll have to select your court up here. And even if you don't fill in any information down here, you can click search. And it will pull up a list of all of the cases that you are an e-file user on. Okay, it's not going to pull up every case in the PROT's case management system. It's only going to pull up what you are an e-file user on. If you are searching for a specific case number, you'll need to add those leading zeros and dashes. And let me make sure I'm searching for the right number here. Got it. So that's my case number, and I click search. Hold on. hold on. Sorry, so that I'm working in our I'm doing what the Pratt would be doing. To add you as an e-file user. Okay. So I've added myself as an e-file user to this case down here. You can come click in here and you'll see I can represent to you, I have not created any e-filings for this case. And there's only one document on the docket because I added it. We don't have documents in our test profile. So you will see these little blue documents. As long as there's a document in our case management system, you'll see it here and you'll be able to click on it and it'll open this up and you can see it's nice and clean, no watermark, does have the watermark timestamp. But this is how you'll access that and this is what you'll see. So that's, and you can also, when you do have access to this, you'll see the parties participants and whether they are e-filers or not. It'll say electronic over here if they also have e-file profiles. That is what I have. It's not wasn't as long or as much information as our trainings, but still really important information and some important distinctions between roles and a little bit more on navigation. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask away, or you can type them in the chat. Otherwise, I thank you for participating and we really look forward to our e-file process. And thank you in advance for your patience as we get this rolling. I'll stick around. I'm here till 1 to stick around if you think of questions. Lori, if you want to, I can go ahead and stop the recording now if you want to. But I will stick around for questions if anybody has any.